Gout Gout's 19.67 seconds in the 200 meters is not scary only because it is fast. It is scary because he ran it at 18, before most sprinters have a grown man's body, a full professional setup, or years of senior racing behind them. Most people hear 19.67 and think, that is quick. Then they move on. But in the 200 meters, 1/10 of a second can separate a great runner from a champion. A quarter of a second can turn a race into a blowout. And Gout is already living in that kind of gap. This is why his rise feels different. It is not just a viral clip. It is not just another teenager with smooth form and a big future. His time has already crashed into history. It broke the world under 20 record. It made him Australia's fastest 200-meter runner. And it placed him in a space where almost no teenager has ever stood. To understand why that matters, start with who he is. Gout was born in Queensland, Australia in 2007. His parents, Monica and Bona, moved from South Sudan to Australia before he was born. He grew up in a large family, played soccer as a kid, and did not enter track as some polished machine built from childhood. His first major turning point came at Ipswich Grammar School. Coach Di Shepherd saw him run when he was still a young student, and she noticed something that did not look normal. He was not just fast for his age, he looked relaxed while being fast. That is rare. Many young sprinters fight the track. Gout seemed to float over it. That smooth style became his signature. His shoulders stay loose. His stride opens wide without looking forced. His body rises tall, like he is still saving something even when others are already straining. That is why his races travel so well online. Even people who do not follow track can see something strange happening. But style alone does not make a great sprinter. The clock does. And Gout's clock has been moving at a shocking pace. In 2024, he won silver in the 200 meters at the World Under-20 Championships in Lima. He ran 20.60 there. That was already a serious result for a teenager. Later that year, he ran 20.04 at the Australian All-Schools Championships, breaking Peter Norman's long-standing Australian 200-meter record. Norman's mark had stood since the 1968 Olympics. Gout was still 16. That matters because Peter Norman was not just any name in Australian track. He won Olympic silver in Mexico City and held one of the country's most respected records for more than 50 years. Gout did not just move past a schoolboy mark. He touched a piece of national history. Then came the next jump. In April 2026 at the Australian Athletics Championships in Sydney, Gout ran 19.67 with legal win. That did not just lower his own national record. It broke the world under-20 record in the 200 meters. He was 18 years old, running a time that would have won Olympic bronze in Paris in 2024. That is the point where hype stops being hype. A teenager running a senior medal level time is not normal. It is a warning. Now compare him to the biggest name possible, Usain Bolt. Bolt's 200-meter world record is 19.19, set in 2009. That is still the top of human sprinting. It is the number every 200-meter runner sees, but almost no one truly chases. At 18, Bolt's best was 19.93. That was incredible. It made him one of the greatest young sprinters the sport had ever seen. But Gout's 19.67 is 0.26 seconds faster than Bolt was at the same age. That does not sound huge until you turn it into distance. At elite 200-meter speed, 0.26 seconds is close to 3 meters. That is not a lean at the line. That is not a photo finish. That is about the length of a small car. So when people say he is faster than Bolt was at 18, they are not talking about a tiny edge. They are talking about a visible gap. Put teenage Bolt and teenage Gout in the same race, and Gout is not winning by a finger. He is clear enough for the camera to catch it without a slow-motion replay. This is where the fear comes from. Gout is not near his likely physical peak. Male sprinters often reach their best years in their early to mid-20s. By then, they usually have stronger starts, better race control, more power, and more experience handling rounds under pressure. Gout still has room in almost every part of the race. His start can become sharper. His first 40 meters can carry more force. His bend running can become cleaner. His final 50 meters can become calmer, especially when the race is tight and the body starts to fight back. That is the part that should worry everyone else. He is already at 19.67 before the adult version of his race is fully built, and his range makes the story even stronger. He has run an official 10.00 in the 100 meters. He has also shown promise over 400 meters with a 46.14 on his record. That means he is not only a short burst speed kid, he has enough speed for the 100, enough rhythm for the 200, and enough strength to be useful in the 4x400 relay. That range is one reason Australia is using him carefully. For the 2026 World Under-20 Championships in Eugene, he is set to focus on the 200 meters and the 4x400 relay, not the 100 meters. That tells you his team is not chasing every headline. They are choosing the events that build the bigger career. There is another detail that makes his profile stronger. He is not being built from one lucky race. His 2024 World Under-20 silver showed he could handle a major international stage. His 20.04 later that year proved the Lima run was not a one-off. His 10.00 in the 100 meters shows his raw acceleration is catching up. His 46.14 in the 400 meters shows he has more strength than most pure teenage sprinters. Add those together, and you do not get a random hot streak. You get a pattern. He has also started to attract the kind of attention that usually comes only after Olympic medals. Adidas signed him while he was still a teenager. He has trained alongside Noah Lyles, the Olympic 100-meter champion, and his name is now being discussed in major international media. That is a lot for an 18-year-old, but it also proves the sport is taking him seriously before he has even reached his first senior global peak. That choice matters. A lot of young stars get burned by too many races, too much travel, and too much pressure. Gout's camp seems to understand the danger. They have kept him based in Australia instead of rushing him into the American college system. They have also managed his media rise while keeping Di Shepherd close to the center of the project. That stability may be just as important as his speed. Teenage talent can vanish fast. Injuries, fame, bad advice, and poor race planning can break a career before it becomes real. Track history is full of young athletes who looked unstoppable at 16 or 17, then never became the senior star fans expected. So the honest answer is this: Gout Gout is not guaranteed to break Bolt's record. Nobody is. A 19.19 is not just a time. It is one of the hardest marks in all of sport. To reach it, a sprinter needs rare genetics, perfect health, world-class coaching, calm nerves, the right weather, the right track, and the right race on the right day. But Gout has earned the right to make the question serious. That is the difference. This is not fantasy talk from fans who saw one clip. The numbers make the debate real. If he drops only a small amount, he becomes a world medal threat. If he improves like a normal elite teenager, he can move into the 19.4 range. If everything goes right, the sport may have to look at 19.19 again, not as a museum piece, but as a target with a shadow moving toward it. That shadow is what makes this story powerful. Gout is still young enough to look unfinished, but already fast enough to scare grown professionals. He has the looseness of a kid, the speed of a senior finalist, and the timeline of someone who should still be climbing. That combination is rare. It is also dangerous. The next stage will tell us more than the viral clips ever could. Can he handle rounds at a global meet? Can he repeat fast times outside Australia? Can he stay healthy through heavier training? Can he build power without losing the easy movement that makes him special? Those questions are not doubts. They are the road ahead.